Welcome to the pre-match show presented by the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Score the best deal on a home with the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Visit brianbirds.com or call 915-751-1500.
A week of hard work for El Paso Locomotive FC as they host Copa Tejas rivals San Antonio FC. This behind-the-scenes look brought to you by GECU. The top team in the West versus your El Paso Locomotive FC. And a huge matchup tonight here in the Sun City as the Locos take on San Antonio FC. I'm Duke Keith. Joining me in the broadcast booth as always, Heidi Mocha. And Heidi, very disappointing loss for Locomotive on the road at Oakland last weekend, but lots of hard work this week and really, arguably, as big a game as there has been at Southwest University Park this season.
Absolutely. And Duke, doesn't the atmosphere here tonight feel like a playoff match? So it's not necessarily a must win, but there is a sense of urgency that exists here tonight. And El Paso needs to go out there and put out a special home performance like we've seen them do before. And then they need to do it while putting together all these new pieces and see how they fit in.
That's right. All of those new pieces, and there are three of them, especially with the younger guys. Ascona, 18 years old, the captain of the Dominican Republic U20 team that qualified for the Olympics this past month. He's here on loan from MLS side Inter Miami. And then Miles Lyons, 19 years old, fills that right back role. Heidi, I am sure people will recognize where he comes from. Barca Residency Academy, same as Diego Luna.
Obviously, both of these players have the pedigree, but talk with Hutch, and it's also about bringing in players with the right character. At 18, Ascona, being the captain of his team, shows his leadership abilities. And technically, Hutch called him, quote, a gifted player who will help with the ball. Then Lyons, 4 seasons with Barca Academy, and fits perfectly into a system that requires fullbacks playing high. Oh, and as for his character, the staff has been raving at the young man's work ethic. And while both of these players will help, we do have to remember that both are still developing, but exciting additions nonetheless.
And Heidi, you can't forget about Australian midfielder Liam Rose, who played in his home country's top league, brought in back in May, but due to visa issues has been unable to see playing time. Good news is that he is now cleared and provides Hutch with another piece to plug into the midfield in this final third of the season.
Duke, this is a player that Hutch is very familiar with. Rose actually played with Hutch during his stint with Central Coast Mariners in 2014 to 2015 and coached him as well. He's a player that can slot into any midfield position and will probably be called upon as a 6. He can get up the field a little bit and provide a bit of creativity on the attack. Full week of training for him ahead of San Antonio, so we expect to see him get some minutes.
He and the rest of the Locos will have to be on their game tonight. San Antonio FC coming off a dominant home performance, 5-0 against Atlanta United 2. This is a team that is well coached, has a balanced attack, and does not concede goals.
Duke, we need to see El Paso create chances and get shots on target. My favorite. And we have seen them do it here at home. Yes, the back line for San Antonio is very strong, but El Paso gets Lucho back from suspension. He, along with Aaron Gomez, will be working hard on the press tonight. If Locomotive can control the game, get the ball out wide on the wings, and get some runs up the middle, we'll see just how good that defense for San Antonio really is.
This one is shaping up to be a classic Copa Tejas battle. First half on the other side of the break. Locomotive FC versus San Antonio FC next.
Thank you for watching the pre-match show presented by the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Score the best deal on a home with the Brian Birds Home Selling Team. Visit brianbirds.com or call 915-751-1500.
Southwest Chiropractic, serving El Paso area and relieving pain for more than 20 years. Not only do we treat auto, sports, and work-related injuries, but we also treat scoliosis, sciatica, back pain, disc injuries, chronic pain treatment, and we even manage stress. At Southwest Chiropractic, our patients are seen the same day. We provide gentle and effective care, and we accept most insurances. Schedule your appointment today and let us relieve your pain. With 3 convenient locations in El Paso, Southwest Chiropractic. Your health is our well-being. Call us today, 915-581-9619.
Welcome back, everybody, to Southwest University Park. Duke Keith, along with Heidi Mocha, with you as we are ready for our nation's anthem here at Southwest University Park. Another fireworks night forthcoming. Fireworks on the field as well between Locomotive FC and San Antonio FC. As we honor America here in El Paso, Texas. Let's take a look at starting lineups tonight. San Antonio FC, Jordan Farr, 7 clean sheets this season, Heidi, as Locomotive FC will be hard-pressed to try and break down that San Antonio defense. San Antonio FC, very, very good at shutting the door. And Jordan Farr next to Evan Newton, who has 8 clean sheets in the season. I think the other guy you might want to keep a look at is PC, that defensive midfielder presence for San Antonio FC.
Right. I mean, San Antonio's been on a run right now, so they're kind of hot. They've been solid in the back and scoring goals up front. So, but El Paso, you know, we love being at home, and we're looking forward to seeing that organization like we had the last time here and showed it at Southwest University Park.
Notable for Locomotive FC, the presence of Liam Rose at the defensive midfield spot. Of course, Dylan Maris, Aaron Gomez, Lucho Solignac up front for Locomotive, along with Cristiano Francois. Kind of that forward press. That's going to be important tonight. But wonderful to see Yuma in the lineup for Locomotive FC on that back line.
Oh, yes. Yuma him and Foxy have been fantastic in the middle, but Yuma just is critical to the organization in the back. But we'll get to see Rose's debut. You know, he's been here for a while training with the team, and the visas are finally all in the clear. So I'm sure he's ready to have a match instead of just practice.
John Hutchinson's old roommate back in Australia. And there is Yuma getting his paces in before we start things off. Locomotive in those sharp black unis tonight here in front of a great home crowd this evening. Wonderful atmosphere as we take a look at Liam Rose, about ready to start things off for Locomotive FC tonight.
Yeah.
As we take a look at tonight's officials, Ricardo Fierro is the man in the middle. Our assistant referees tonight, Jennifer Garner and Noah Kenyawani. Marco Vega is our 4th official this evening. Locomotive FC trying to win some momentum back after a really disastrous road trip out west on that artificial surface for Oakland Roots.
Yeah.
That was hard pressed. They lost Eder Borelli. We'll get to the Texas Tech Health Report in a little bit and talk about Eder. But it is, you know, it's who's got the short memory, right? When you get into these situations.
Right. I mean, and you know, at home, the Locomotive, everything is kind of like a well-oiled machine. We've gotten past the start of the season, and now, I mean, we've seen some fantastic things. On the road, there can be some struggles, but it's not just for the Locomotive. USL travel can be brutal for all the teams right now. So, you know, they're ready tonight.
San Antonio FC and Locomotive FC about ready to start things off here in El Paso, Texas. San Antonio in their road whites. Copa Tejas representatives are in the house, and Copa Tejas is on the line for the top team in the West, San Antonio FC, versus the 5th team in the West, Locomotive FC.
And it is good to see our number 9 back on the field.
That is another sight for sore eyes for Locomotive. There have been all sorts of issues, from the birth of his first child to different suspensions.
I'm sure he is ready to get a run of matches.
Against his old team in San Antonio FC as well.
In 2020. There's the cheetah.
Cristiano Francois. Lone Star bragging rights on the line tonight. San Antonio FC, Locomotive FC underway from El Paso, Texas. Yuma getting First contact for El Paso. The offside flag is up.
And that is one of Yuma's favorite plays. Pull the offsides.
Here's a
right
man
from
who
the
knows
start. Exactly.
how to organize that trap. Evan Newton on that left wing, and why not go long to Aaron Gomez? We've pointed out before. Maybe the USL Championship's only box-to-box forward. He finds ways to pull things down. Amazingly.
And he'll pull it down after a full field sprint. It is not like he just goes 10, 20 yards. He'll go 40, 50, 80 and still catch up to the ball, bring it down, and then create something from that.
Good turnover forced by San Antonio. Out of the back. San Antonio can get up in a hurry from the byline. Cross handled easily by Newton. That was excellent, though, to deflect that by Mohamed Abu. Slid into that pass. Locomotive will be challenged, I think, servicing in from the wings in the absence of Eder Borelli. Another long ball out of the back. Not able to run that one down, Justin Dillon. Team leader for San Antonio FC with 6 goals. As there you see John Hutchinson. Locomotive must stay organized versus a very organized San Antonio FC. I think that might be one of the key factors for Marcina. But here's Cristiano Francois, the cheetah, on the loose. Crossing, kind of hook up with Lucho. Great work by Aaron Gomez, but still with an effort against his opposite, number 7. Saad Abdul Salam. Newton keeping it back in play. Keeping it in play. Goalies play keep away. There's Jordan Farr. Farr, great addition to San Antonio FC, and of course, Fear the Beard, Pat Cardoni. Retiring in midseason, he's going to go to law school. What a stalwart for the San Antonio FC program. Has played with his hometown professional club since it was the Scorpions in the NASL. Speaking of, Alan Marcina won a championship with San Antonio in the NASL. So we take a look at our Casa Auto Group keys to the game. What are you looking for tonight, Heidi?
First is press hard. So we've seen both Lucho and Aaron Gomez put in huge efforts on the press throughout the season. It's going to be very important tonight to help defend against the long ball, since San Antonio will look for El Paso to make mistakes. So put the pressure there. It'll help them from getting that open long ball. Then service into the box. All but one goal for San Antonio has been inside the box. It means communication is very important. But fortunately, as we said, Yuma is back in the lineup, and he's going to help organize the group. So watch out for the ball bouncing around in the box, as that's where their attacking players can be very opportunistic with second chances and then control the game. This is where El Paso's principles need to shine. We spoke about getting the ball out wide to the wings and taking advantage of the speed out there with Nick Hines, Francois. Lucho's trying to pick a pocket. Oh.
Lucho's down a little bit as he was able to get in front of that clearance attempt by Farr. He has scored in this manner before for Locomotive FC. And fortunately, Ricardo Ruiz will head back to the bench, so no Texas Tech nod to the dock here. Lucho up and under his own steam.
And so we're talking about controlling the game. So, again, El Paso's principles, that's kind of their style. But take advantage of the speed with Hines, Francois, and Gomez, and then get some runs up the middle, put pressure on San Antonio's back line, and then see how they hold up. And so right now we have been able to see Locomotive put a little bit of pressure, which has been nice.
Good to see Liam Rose get a couple of good touches of the ball, too. Kind of hampering what San Antonio's been trying to move forward. Locomotive, Hines steering it off to the left. As we take a look at the Texas Tech injury report. And for Locomotive FC, that continues. Chapa, Siobhan, we did know that, and Eder Borelli also out in that one. That one stings a little bit.
Absolutely. So yeah, Siobhan has been in a brace, but currently has been attending the training, even though he hasn't been able to train. And then Eder Borelli, he has a dislocated shoulder.
That's a shot. Easily carried away by Newton Samuel Adeniran. Adeniran with 4 goals in his own right. 4 4-goal scorers for San Antonio, right behind Justin Dillon's 6. So this is a team with multiple options to put the ball in the back of the net. And here is Rose. The outlet to Calvillo. Of course, Locomotive. Some very talented midfield players. So that one will head back to Fox. Does well with it to get it up that left flank. Trying to turn here is Dillon. Yuma able to avert trouble. Maris gets away from Gomez. But very talented midfield for Locomotive, as we were pointing out. Eric Calvillo has decided to take the blonde mantle into this one. Lucho, Diego at different times had the
passing the blonde torch.
Passing the blonde torch. So if you're wondering why number 8 has a hot hairstyle you don't recognize, that's exactly why. But of course, Sebastian Velasquez has moved back to Israel to continue his professional career. We wish Seba all the best as they get ready to start their seasons. You know, Israeli professional teams, the winners of their leagues, qualify for the UEFA Champions League. He is in 2nd division in Israel. But they do pro rel there as well. So the best to Seba in his new adventures.
Yeah, he has been, he was a tremendous addition here twice. And good luck to him and his next club.
Over the top, the foul. Lucho draws that from Fabian Garcia. There is Calvillo. Gomez. Good work by Aron Gomez to the far post. Far has to get a piece of that with some help from his back line. Locomotive on the front foot here tonight. It's always a different story at Southwest University Park for Locomotive FC, isn't it? Because they have been able to get it done quite well. 6-2-2 at home, 26 goals scored, and just 10 let in. It's a different story on the road, but Locomotive has been full value for the fans at Southwest University Park this season, Heidi.
Yeah. I mean, but like you said, their record at home is just fantastic and just quite a difference. On the road, it's 3-5-4, 3 goals scored, and I think it's 13 goals scored and 18 goals conceded. So it's a lot different than what we have when they're at home.
It's a touch of the ball. It gets away from Dillon. Great effort in from left wing, though, and it might have been offside, but nonetheless, Evan Newton touches it, and we play on. Well, for more on that, as the foul drawn by Aron Gomez, there's Rachel Phillips, the 3rd member of our team. Rachel, Locomotive loves playing in front of the home crowd, doesn't it?
Yeah, they certainly do, Duke. Already tonight we've seen a much higher intensity than what we saw from the Locomotive in that 4-0 loss on the road last week. That's why the quote of note tonight comes from head coach John Hutchinson. He said, quote, on the road we've kind of struggled at times to put things together. At home, I think it's been a different story. I'm confident in these next few weeks when we're at home, we're We're going to play two good teams, which is a good challenge, but home is different for us, and it certainly is. I mean, last start at home, we saw them take on Colorado Springs, who at the time was second in the West, and they were able to beat them quite comfortably in an intense game. Right here tonight against San Antonio FC, obviously the best in the West, and then next week they're hosting the best in the East in Louisville City. So a good chance the Locomotive to prove just how strong they are at home, and it continues right here tonight.
Thanks so much, Rachel. And indeed, the schedule has been stellar for fans of the USL Championship. Colorado Springs, the last home match, San Antonio tonight, and obviously Louisville, as Rachel says, next weekend. Colorado Springs, that was a heck of an effort, and if Locomotive can defend, and obviously there were injuries and situations they had to deal with through the course of that match, if they can defend as Hines draws a foul, and looks like Abdul Salam's going to get more than a talking to. First caution of the night, it comes in the 11th minute for Abdul Salam for his takedown of Nick Hines.
And that's the nice thing. Hines has that speed, so Locomotive is looking to take advantage of that because San Antonio matches up, but he managed to get past the San Antonio player and draw the foul. And that also was a great switch by Dylan Maris to switch the point of the attack to get Hines that ball.
Locomotive can switch the ball. Well, as we were pointing out, versus Colorado Springs, Calvillo in the restart, you saw just about every Locomotive player, offensively and defensively, come back and make a play on the ball defensively, just to keep that high-octane Colorado Springs switchbacks offense in check.
Yeah,
and they did it.
It was key. That was needed to keep the game organized and in control.
Good dummy by Matt Boehner will spring Francois, but it's still far out. Francois lifted in. Lucho gets a piece.
They found each other.
But so does Garcia.
Yeah, but Garcia comes in, but Locomotive has another opportunity with the corner.
You might remember Fabian Garcia, he of the short shorts from
I
Austin
did,
Bold.
I know. I was waiting for
grin.
you to bring it up.
I saw that grin. Plying his trade just a few miles south of Austin these days. Calvillo to deliver the corner. Near to the near post and easily handled, but it's a good thought. Out of the back by Liam Rose.
And that's where San Antonio does have size, so they're going to have to be well executed
set pieces.
Yes, on the Locomotive side. They're physical and they got some size, where some other teams, have a variety of sizes. This one has speed and size. That's helped them, be at the top.
San Antonio 5-0-1 in their last 6 matches, the longest unbeaten streak of the season. They've won 4 straight. There's 2 goals, 8 shots on target allowed by San Antonio. So Locomotive with their work cut out for them. Flag is up for offside on El Paso. As Yuma draws the crowd's praises here at Southwest University Park, 8th notch in full voice, as they usually are. Combating those warm El Paso nights with some cold beverages before every match. Out glances. Good work by Evan Newton to see that. Going up against Dylan was Yuma, and we just got done talking about that height. Dylan has Yuma by a few inches, and it might even count as a shot on goal. As you see John Hutchinson. Nice layoff by Lucho looking for Maris. They can't continue though. Fox, as Locomotive plays out of the back to Hines. Hines looking for Calvillo. Well tended to by Abu. And out of the back, Evan Newton comes off his line to make a play. Did not want to let San Antonio loose for that. Adeniran making a run on that left wing side.
And so San Antonio, they'll press, but they also have no problem letting Locomotive try to possess the ball and make our own mistake coming out of transition.
They get so easily into that transition movement, don't they? Just automatic. You see a turnover and everybody knows exactly where they're going to go. It's a well-drilled team. Alan Marcina, the Canadian. That one will glance off of Cristiano Francois, and it'll be San Antonio's first corner. And with all those tall players, here's where you have to be on your game.
And a lot of this, I mean, is reading the ball, but it's a commitment to be first to the ball. That there is no other way. There is no one going to ever get there. I mean, that is, as a defender and on the offensive side, that's just kind of part of it.
Abu, the outswinger, to the edge of the area, bounces in, trying to turn, lifted out by Fox with some help, I believe, in the middle from Liam Rose. San Antonio never able to gather possession. That's a first-time effort. Little sky wide by Mitchell Tainter. Tainter draws the derision of the crowd, but you want to talk about a guy in Mitchell Tainter who has been able to have to keep it going on. Comes over from Sac Republic, goes back. He was on loan last year, but signed with San Antonio FC in the offseason. Here's a guy who's up for midseason MVP. He's my pick for defensive MVP. And he has 4 goals in the process as well. He's having quite the offensive season as well. But you might be familiar with that name, Tainter, from back out east, your neck of the woods.
My neck of the woods.
Yukon, Yukon Husky family through and through.
Yeah, when I was coaching.
With the exception of the fact that Mitchell went to Rutgers. Oh, bounced unkindly. Ooh, and Evan Newton gets that to go off the top bar. That'll deflect. The offside flag is finally up. But Evan Newton saves El Paso's bacon. Might not have counted anyway. The flag is up.
That was spectacular.
But look at this. Off the byline, missed by Yuma. And Adeniran cannot make him pay. Cristiano Francois showing the wheels, but the ball trickles nicely. They got to see it. We'll roll it into touch. And that was almost disastrous at the back. Adeniran. Ball fed right to him along the byline as Yuma missed the clearance attempt. Would have been disastrous were it not for Evan Newton, Rachel.
Yeah, certainly an absolute crucial save there, because when San Antonio has scored this season, they have won every single game. So a goal right there would have meant potentially disastrous effects for the Locomotive and a very tough hole to climb out of. Evan Newton coming in clutch right again at the end of the season. It's a good thing he is back there for the Locomotive, because he is one of the best keepers in the league. Obviously leads the league in all-time saves and shutouts this season. He has also 60 saves, the second most in the comp this season, and tied for first with most shutouts with 8.
Outstanding work by Evan Newton. And that is my pick for midseason goalkeeping MVP.
Well, he was nominated for midseason goalkeeper of the.
That'll be PC trying to turn, and Newman gets a piece of that.
The Detroit City FC. So it is being recognized his how important he's been to the Locomotive and in the league. How great he's had a season.
Yuma drawing the praises of the crowd. Evan Newton on his back line, very vocal. Here's a guy who routinely loses his voice during matches.
That's good. He can see the most of the field. Tell everybody where to go, what to do, what's coming, what's happening, where to go.
Jan Garcia to deliver the corner. Outswinger into the mixer. Yuma gets ahead to it. That's well won. Justin Dillon, though, against Liam Rose, sends him sprawling. But it is Rose who's able to get that out.
Yeah, Yuma being back on that field. I mean, 3 back-to-back plays to keep San Antonio from creating some dangerous opportunities. I mean, he is invaluable to them, and I'm so glad that he has recovered to get back out there. The veteran leadership that he brings to the team, it's hard to replace.
Of course, Locomotive, the 11th minute was all it took for San Antonio to get the 1 goal they needed to beat El Paso back on April the 16th in the Alamo City. Elliot Collier scoring in the 11th, one of his 4 in the season. The assist to Maloney. That's run through. It'll be a little too far, and Evan Newton able to escort it away from the dangerous feet of Santiago Patiño. Native of Medellin, Colombia, coming to El Paso from Orlando City. In Major League Soccer, there are a lot of guys with MLS experience in the San Antonio roster. I know San Antonio, one of the first in the USL to really do the academy thing to great effect is Abu. It's a foul. Abu will draw the contact from Maris. But San Antonio's academy has produced some great ones. El Paso Locomotive. Great work by Ivan Militar and Locomotive FC to try and get that academy going. Abu just a little stretched off. They judge Dylan Maris to have pushed a bit. So on the restart, it'll be Garcia again. Punched away by Newton. Just away from Abdul Salam.
Yeah, that was huge for Newton to come out and get to that ball first.
Great intervention by Boehner. He's saying he got it to bounce off of the feet of Connor Maloney. Our referee disagrees.
And we know from the statistics that we heard earlier, I mean, San Antonio can finish in the box. That's where they put the ball in the back of the net, and they've been able to do it this season for sure. So Locomotive, whether it's the goalkeeper or the players, they have to be first at the ball.
Abu.
Challenge for everything.
Glance and stay in play off of the dinner.
And that is 32 out of the 33 have been scored in the box. So they know how to get that ball and redirect it into the back of that net. But Locomotive, as I said, at home, this is where Locomotive has shined.
Abdul Salam, that one comes straight to Liam Rose. But again, the offside flag comes up. Great work by Yuma, who applauds Matt Boehner, Andrew Fox, Nick Hines. The back line moving as one.
Absolutely.
And results in a flag.
And organized.
Noah Kenyawani, the assistant referee, making sure Locomotive starts from the right spot. And here is Newton, on loan from Vancouver Whitecaps this season. All-time leader in saves for the USL Championship coming into this season. All-time leader for clean sheets. He has 8 this season, 58 in total. A storied USL career for Locomotive FC's keeper. San Antonio FC has had quite the run of it lately. Dylan Maris tries to lay it off. PC tries to do the same, and neither player makes his target. Here's Rose. Keeps it moving with a physical challenge in behind by Patiño. And Locomotive drawing contact. San Antonio not afraid to be physical. It's a bump by Dexter or Carter Manley. And here's Francois. Nice service. Top of the box. Aron Gomez. Whistle for the, well, it's actually a stoppage in play because of head contact. So it'll be a Texas Tech nod to the dock. Jesse Lawrence in his third season as San Antonio FC's athletic trainer on quickly. And our referee wasted absolutely no time in whistling a stoppage to play. Ricardo Fierro. We'll go down to Rachel Phillips. Rachel, what did you see?
Yeah, guys, definitely didn't look good out there. Obviously not moving right now. While that's taking place, though, here on the bench, John Hutchinson using this moment to take it all in with some of the leadership group in Andrew Fox, as well as Nick Hines, Matt Boehner, and Liam Rose in his first start here for the El Paso Locomotive.
A little talking to with the team as Manley's being attended to, and Gomez offers his apologies. Both players going for the ball. It's a 50-50 situation. And I thought for a second that Aron Gomez it was head-to-head contact. It looks like Manley caught his shoulder or part of maybe his collarbone on that. That was a great replay from the end.
Ball and then kind of just. Yeah, there was
no intent
mix up
behind
there.
it.
Yeah, it was.
Service into a dangerous area. Great service by Francois, but Manley trying to head it out. That is not fun when you're a player, is it?
Not at all.
Manley going through a little concussion protocol with Jesse Lawrence. Who makes the judgment that he is good to go. It's never fun. And I think perhaps because it was not head-to-head contact, might have saved Manley's bacon a little bit. Got to get the flow situated, and we will return to play. It'll be a dropped ball. That was a whistle. The stoppage called for immediately by referee Ricardo Fierro, who saw the head contact as Manley's head snapped back. Have you ever had that happen to you?
I was fortunate. No, I mean, I'm sure I had minor bumps into folks, but nothing that was a major, contact
playing.
that I recalled having to really have my bell rung.
Did you ever dish it out?
I played fairly.
Oh, okay.
But soccer is a contact sport.
So yes, then the answer is yes.
Shoulder to shoulder is legal.
There you go.
First to the ball.
First to the ball. And you were often first to the ball, if I know you. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at SelectSportAmerica.com. Select, league's choice, player's choice. Locomotive trying to maintain possession, but San Antonio hampering that at every opportunity. And that is going to be a foul. Justin Dillon draws the contact. Eric Albillo, and a free kick in a very dangerous spot coming for San Antonio FC. And Abu goes right to the ball. It's actually Francois.
That was a little embellished, or appeared to be. Doesn't mean
Well,
it wasn't a foul, but there might have been a little embellishment.
Justin Dillon, 6'4", 185 pounds. Cristiano Francois, let's see, the cheetah. He's fast, but he ain't tall. Either way, Abu. We pointed it out before. This is, especially at angles, you make contact with the ball and it's almost like a scratch shot in pool. That's not what the keeper wants. In it comes. Headed out. Well done by Aron Gomez. To Calvillo. Trying to launch one for the Cheetah. But it's well dealt with by Maloney. San Antonio FC with the ball back. We pointed out Copa Tejas is in the house tonight. And San Antonio with the full 3 points can walk away with it. Taking it away from Locomotive FC, who won the inaugural USL Championship Copa Tejas Cup. Some fancy footwork by Maris. Draws a crowd, dish out to Francois. Francois launches another long cross. Too long for Lucho. Watches it sail by. But that's where Locomotive has had their joy, up that right wing, getting the ball to the Cheetah and letting him go to work.
Yes, and then, but they need to be more intentional with the service. So I want the ball's in front, that's great, but be more intentional with the service. It needs to be, runners have to get to where he's going to be playing it, or you have to play it to a man that's coming, crashing in. Because otherwise, that's just a missed opportunity.
Good work by Liam Rose to draw the contact there from Adeniran. And here comes Locomotive FC. Maris again. Wide and behind Lucho. They can't square him up, can they? Francois, though. Francois, short chip. Comes loose. Gomez will keep it moving to Hines. Hines will get it back from Aron Gomez. Last-ditch defending by Abu.
I like that ball from Fox to get it back out to where they can get it, keep it dangerous.
Francois looking for the header. It's over the head of Dylan Maris. Hines back into the area again. Sent out by San Antonio. Out to the Peter Piper Pizza porch. And it's a corner kick.
But the Locomotive has kept it alive and kept the pressure on. Whew.
You can tell looking for Calvillo right at the porch at the edge of the 6.
But Locomotive not giving San Antonio that space to find an outlet on the turnover, which is fantastic.
Here is Maris. Oh, in tight. That's headed away. And could have been trouble, but scooted up and over the bar. Will take the corner from the other side. Up for that. Adeniran. It is actually a throw-in. .31-year-old Matt Boehner. That'll be lofted. All of that, Fox in the box. Here's Francois, scoots wide. Gets that one to deflect off Maloney. Francois wanted a handball. Again, Maloney. Maloney with the header. Great work defensively, but it'll be a throw-in. Good job by Matt Boehner to just stand in front and let it roll out. In tight, Locomotive, solid pressure. Boehner into the middle. Lifted out by Manley, foul in the box. As Calvillo undercuts Manley. Is that Garcia? Might be. Indeed it is. It's a push by Lucho into the back of Manley, who then takes out Garcia as well.
Right. I think so. Just the hands on the back. But I mean, yeah, San Antonio, they try to challenge for those balls. They're good at it on offense, and they work their tail off on the defensive end. But the Locomotive have been just relentless right now, putting pressure.
And they've needed to be. This is the way you counteract what San Antonio does.
And it's good to see that sense of urgency. Like, okay, when we're in this attacking third, we're going to attack with everything we got.
The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late-season surge against Sac Republic. That is Sunday, September the 18th. 1 p.m. Mountain on ESPN2. Abu. Good pressure by Aron Gomez, and Abu off target for Justin Dillon. Alan Marcina, San Antonio FC. His second stint in San Antonio as the head coach. Of course, as we pointed out, won the NASL title with the San Antonio Scorpions. Kind bounce for Boehner here. But a solid squad. This is really their best record under Marcina, who has been great since taking over San Antonio a couple of seasons ago. Here's Hines. Hines trying to step over. San Antonio ready to eat that lunch. If you're going to do fancy footwork, you better be ready to deliver.
Exactly.
And Hines has been, he's been outstanding. As somebody pointed out, there's a world where Nick Hines already has 4 assists this season. Locomotive has been a little off target with his service. But San Antonio, not an easy team to break down. What do you think so far, though, about what Locomotive has been able to do offensively?
Yeah, I mean, Locomotive, I mean, you mentioned it. We've had chances to get down that right flank, get the ball across in front. And like I said, just a little bit more intentional with some of the service, which we got a little bit more intentional more recently, so that was nice. And then also switching the field and getting it out to Hines, and then seeing some play on the left flank and getting it in. So it's not just always the possession down that we've seen in the past from Locomotive. They've kind of changed it up and created chances on both flanks, a little bit different than maybe some other matches that we've seen. But they got to figure out what's going to work against a team that's been hot. And we're back at getting another corner kick, another set piece.
Got to see it with
knocking on that door.
Not the best touch, indeed. So Dylan Maris again. El Paso has spent the last few minutes San Antonio's half of the pitch. Far post that's punched away by Far. It will be a corner kick the other way.
And that is the player who has the greatest advantage in that box is that goalkeeper. I mean, they have, you know, those hands that reach. So ideally, if that ball is served that tight in, I mean, they should do everything to get to that ball.
Jordan Farr has been outstanding since coming to San Antonio FC. Here's Calvillo, slow roller down and low to Lucho, just missed. Great first time effort by the Argentine. Looking to get back in the scoreboard. He doesn't go much more than a couple of matches without a score, but first time effort goes wide to the right.
I like that. Locomotive looked to change it up, played something a little bit differently, and he just off target, but not by much. That was the warm-up. That's his warm-up. I say that some matches, right?
Your warm-up shot.
Get that warm-up.
John Hutchinson is hot about something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but he is having words for Ricardo Fierro right now. Good that we have Rachel Phillips on the touch line to tell us a little more as the discussion continues. Rachel?
Yeah, Duke, it looked like they called it to go San Antonio's way, and Hutch very unimpressed with that. Looks like it's now been switched over after those mince words to the referee right there, and it's now Locomotive ball.
Here is Manley. That's served up over the top. Well done by Yumo for the hip check and the header. Take down at the edge of the area, and that's going to be a direct kick on the edge of the 18. Justin Dillon bowled over. But that is about as dangerous a kick as you can have outside the box. Yuma taken down, but a little main pull maybe by Liam Rose. We've got to go ahead.
So in the last match, I watched a little bit of their last match on the streaming on ESPN Plus, and there was a lot of plays that they talked about. The other team would kind of strategically get in position and take that little love touch. So that's something I think it seems like they may kind of be very aware and maybe use it as some strategy.
Garcia whipped into the wall. That's whipped back. Evan Newton will have it. Nobody else could make a play on it. It was offside. PC try on the follow through there.
Yeah, when there is a free kick, especially that tight end.
Aaron Gomez to the byline. Keeps it in play. No, he doesn't. Goal kick.
But when there's a free kick and it, especially that tight end, I mean, the goalkeeper has got to make sure it's where he wants it, he needs it, which part of the goal is covered, but he needs to still be able to see the ball. So it is huge for the goalkeeper to know exactly where they want it and to be able to communicate that to the players.
The wall did its job there, but Fabian Garcia, I've seen him score free kicks for Austin Bold from further out than that. And that might be something else too. If you're that close, kind of becomes a little harder to get the up and down to work for you, right?
It definitely is a factor. The wall, the wall is kind of where you want to get it. Can you get it to dip over the wall? Are the guys in the wall, how tall are they? Are they jumping? We've seen that. Are they going under the wall?
Right. We've seen it all. Calvillo.
Or around.
Yeah, your favorite formation.
I know, that's what I was
the player lying down.
Oh my gosh.
Underneath, here's Maloney. Maloney, nice moves on Boehner. Maloney taken out by Yuma. And Yuma's going to draw yellow here. Pleads his case. But Ricardo Fierro not impressed. The 43rd minute caution issued to El Paso's team captain. Maloney with the Diego Luna-esque moves out there on that on the touchline. Yuma making sure it didn't advance any further.
So I think Maloney had been played at Penn State and was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. So now playing out of the back, but that's where I think you get some of these attacking moves.
Well, and this is not a team you want to give a whole bunch of set pieces to.
Well, remember, they score in the box.
Garcia again. He could go for goal. Let's see if he tries it. He does. Dipped it off the crossbar.
What a strike.
And it's out. My goodness.
That was, yeah.
Garcia beats Newton, but not the bar. Locomotive trying to play out of the back. Abu will bring this down, and here is San Antonio. Good run now. Dillon shot carried away. Evan Newton stretching for that one.
It's a good ball in and just picks it right up unmarked and just takes a strike on goal. But Evan Newton fortunately had to kind of watch that the whole way. And no rebound. He just smothered it. That is a fantastic goalkeeping.
Out it'll come. Yuma trying to backheel that one away. Able to keep it off of Patino. Here is Abu again. Abu missing wide to the right. But San Antonio, as we're into the 45th minute, Locomotive hanging on to head to the half if they can. Rachel Phillips with more on that great save by Evan Newton.
Yeah, Duke and Heidi, as soon as that save happened, we heard the crowd, the 8-notch right behind that goal, just chant Evan Newton's name after an incredible save. We know how important those saves are here tonight against San Antonio FC because they have never lost a game this season if they have scored a goal.
Well, Evan Newton keeping that from happening for now. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Aaron Gomez. Does El Paso have an answer? Tipped away by Farr. Headed down by Francois and put in touch. Some great last-ditch defending. By Mitchell Tater.
It was a good ball from Hines out to Gomez, and way to like whip it in there.
Here's Lucho. Fox to Hines, who is mowed down. Patino, I think trying to set his feet, just lost it and blew Hines over like a bowling pin. So Locomotive with an opportunity, and this might be the last action of the first half as we're into the final minute of stoppage time. And again, those difficult areas, off at an angle, just off the 18. Any touch is never a good touch if you're the opposing goalkeeper trying to keep it out. Maris and Calvillo. Maris in swinger. Overcooked. And perhaps as Farr puts it back into play, that'll be what sends us to the half. And it's been entertaining. Locomotive FC and San Antonio FC, each team with its chances. You have to say San Antonio with the better offensive product, but Evan Newton and Locomotive FC defensively has done what it needed to do.
Definitely, but Locomotive, they had a run there that there was, you know, chances. They were putting pressure in the attacking third for, you know, and forcing San Antonio to defend and to try to clear and to have that transition, but they just did not get it in the back of the net. So it's good to that. At least they made it out both with a tie.
0-0 at the break. For Locomotive FC and San Antonio FC with Copa Tejas in the house. Locomotive needs the full 3 to stay in the race. Evan Newton and the post doing a little goalkeeping for El Paso here at home. More coming up with the GECU halftime show next.
What makes this the best summer ever at Casa Ford? It's a hike in the Franklin Mountains. It could be a perfect round of golf.
Build your own new Ford with Casa today. Order the exact vehicle you want and get your Ford your way.
Your ride could be worth $5,000 or even $10,000 more than you think, and Casa Ford wants to buy it. We'll pay up to $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your car. Come and see us at El Paso's only President's Award winner, Casa Ford, home of the nice guys. Yeah!
Welcome to the GECU Halftime Show. Manage your accounts 24/7 with GECU Online Banking, the GECU mobile app, and GECU ATMs. Learn more at gecu.com.
Welcome back, everybody. A beautiful night here in downtown El Paso, Texas. 0-0 at Southwest University Park between Locomotive FC and San Antonio FC. I'm Duke Keith along with Heidi Mocha as we take a look at scores from this last week in the USL Championship. Las Vegas Lights FC, a big win in the Valley versus RGV Toros. That's hard to do. 1-0 for Vegas Lights. Louisville City and Phoenix Rising battling to a 0-0 draw. That's the summer showcase event for the championship in Louisville City. San Diego Loyal, a 3-0 win over Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. And, of course, later, well, that was earlier today, Charleston Battery and Switchbacks, actually yesterday, battling to a 3-3 draw. It has not been great for Switchbacks FC, down a number of players, but you know what? That's the way the championship works. As we take a look at the Western Conference standings in the USL Championship. San Antonio FC, as you see, 43 points. It's the best point margin or point total in the league, along with Louisville City. Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC still in second place. Loyal FC right there in third, followed by New Mexico United, which did lose to Detroit City earlier today. And Locomotive FC tied with points against with United, and any point will vault them into that fourth position, pending other action tonight. LA Galaxy and Sacramento Republic, both above the playoff line, but there you see. Lights and Roots FC with 28 points right in behind them. As we take a look at storylines around the league, check out where El Paso lands in the USL Championship's weekly power rankings. And you can do that at the website, uslchampionship.com. Also, head over to uslchampionship.com to see the winners. Evan Newton had been nominated for Goalkeeper of the Year. These are the USL Mid-Season MVP awards at different positions, as well as the league in total. That award went to Detroit City FC goalkeeper Nate Steinwasser, but that's the mid-season MVP. Still that last half of the season to go for your USL Championship leader in clean sheets with 3 other keepers. And Sacramento Republic Open Cup. Congratulations to Sac Republic for making it to the semifinals of the Open Cup. The Lamar Hunt US Open Cup, they will play hosts to MLS side Sporting Kansas City. That is coming up July the 27th. Our score at the half here at Southwest University Park, Locomotive FC 0, San Antonio FC 0. Stick around, more GECU halftime show coming up next.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. I'm on that routine.
Welcome back to Southwest University Park. The score in this one is Locomotive 0, San Antonio 0. So let's see. Here we have a corner kick, and the Locomotive changes up. Let's Lucho head over there and take a crack at the goal. Here it is again. Steps in, first time touch, just can't quite get it on frame. But love how Locomotive went out there and put out something different for them to see, for the San Antonio try to do now. The attack has gotten a lot better in the last 10 or 15 minutes for the Locomotive, and Hutch has always had some great first halftime adjustments for the second half. So let's see. We're going to see what he comes up with and see what we can do to see if we can get our leading scorer back on the board since he's been back. And in El Paso here we have El Paso Locomotive 0 and San Antonio 0 at half. Back after this.
What makes this the best summer ever at Casa Ford? It's a hike in the Franklin Mountains. It could be a perfect round of golf.
Build your own new Ford with Casa today. Order the exact vehicle you want and get your Ford your way.
Your ride could be worth $5,000 or even $10,000 more than you think, and Casa Ford wants to buy it. We'll pay up to $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your car. Come and see us at El Paso's only President's Award winner, Casa Ford, home of the nice guys. Yeah! What makes this the best summer ever at Casa Nissan? It's a big summer barbecue in the backyard. It's playing volleyball on the beach.
Get 1.9% financing on most new Nissans, plus no payments for 90 days. Or get 1.99% financing on a certified pre-owned Sentra, Altima, Rogue, or Rogue Sport.
We'll pay you up to $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your car. No matter how you spend your summer, let Casa Nissan get you there. Our casa is su casa. Yeah!
Welcome back, everybody. Locomotive FC, San Antonio FC, scoreless at the break. Here at, as we continue the GECU halftime show in downtown El Paso at Southwest University Park. Duke Keith Hadimocha with you. As we take a look at our first half stats, not a lot to write home about for Locomotive FC. San Antonio out shooting them 9-4. The possession, as you would expect, Locomotive, the majority of that passing accuracy, probably not exactly where Locomotive and John Hutchinson would want to see height.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, I think the biggest thing is creating chances, but actually getting those shots and getting a shots on target. I mean, that is key. But we know San Antonio's been strong at preventing opponents from doing that. So Locomotive really has to create that chancing and have that sense of urgency there. And then before we head to break, let's take a moment to recognize our Hospitals of Providence employee highlight. Tonight we feature Erica Lackenpaul, a multimodality tech at the Hospitals of Providence Imaging Center West. Big thank you to Erica for her commitment in providing high-quality care and to bettering the health and well-being of our community.
That's the score at the break, 0-0 between Locomotive FC and San Antonio FC. Second half, and thoughts from John Hutchinson on the other side of the break. When we continue, you're watching Locomotive Soccer.
Thank you for watching the GECU Halftime Show. Manage your accounts 24/7 with GECU Online Banking, the GECU mobile app, and GECU ATMs. Learn more at gecu.com.
What makes this the best summer ever at Casa Ford? It's a hike in the Franklin Mountains. It could be a perfect round of golf.
Build your own new Ford with Casa today. Order the exact vehicle you want and get your Ford your way.
Your ride could be worth $5,000 or even $10,000 more than you think, and Casa Ford wants to buy it. We'll pay up to $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your car. Come and see us at El Paso's only President's Award winner, Casa Ford, home of the nice guys. Yeah! What makes this the best summer ever at Casa Nissan?
It's a big summer barbecue in the backyard.
It's playing volleyball on the beach.
Get 1.9% financing on most new Nissans, plus no payments for 90 days. Or get 1.99% financing on a certified pre-owned Sentra, Altima, Rogue, or Rogue Sport.
We'll pay you up to $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your car. No matter how you spend your summer, let Casa Nissan get you there.
Our casa is su casa.
Yeah!
Welcome back to the West Star Tower at Hunt Plaza. Locomotive FC 0-0 with San Antonio FC at the break. Duke Keith Idimocha with you as we take a look at some of the highlights. The big hit by Adeniran, taken care of by Evan Newton, who does well here on the pass that makes it all the way through. Adeniran not able to make him pay as Evan Newton and the bar get a piece. Yuma fired up, the team captain. Important interventions, and defense has been kind of the story, but Locomotive not without a couple of chances. Again, though, no shots on target, Heidi.
Absolutely, and if they don't get there, there's no chance.
That actually doesn't count as a shot on goal either, believe it or not, because it wasn't anywhere near the net. And this may be the chance of the night. Justin Dillon easily stopped, though, by Evan Newton. As it remains scoreless at the break, as we head down to the third member of our team, Rachel Phillips, with more headed into the second half. What is John Hutchinson thinking about how this first half has gone?
Well, Duke, John Hutchinson was really happy with how they defended. He said that was incredibly impressive. He wants to see, obviously, more of that in the second half. He was also happy with the amount of chances the Locomotive have been creating, but he said it's about finding that final pass, that final shot on goal, and actually executing. He said for the second half moving forward, though, he really wants to stop the forward runs as well as the forward passing from San Antonio and take control of this game so that they can finish and come out here with either a draw or a win.
Points are the order of the day versus a team that is 5-0-1 in its last 6, has allowed just 8 shots on target with 2 goals in their last 5 matches. That is a great defensive record.
And they had 0 shots on target they allowed against the Battery. So
it's amazing. Little misstart there. Coming into the second half, Shannon Gomez to replace Saad Abdul Salam. Which is interesting. You've got to think Abdul Salam had a couple of good touches. Must have been an injury situation suffered in the first half of play, but he has been replaced at the half by Shannon Gomez, native of TNT, another former Sac Republic player. As Aaron Gomez whistled for the foul. And the takedown of Gomez, Shannon Gomez, that is.
Gomez.
Gomez on Gomez violence there.
I think Aaron kind of knew he might have threw the arms up,
hoping for the non-call, but
exactly. Unlikely.
Our referee, Ricardo Fierro, saw it the whole way. Long out of the back, too long. As the keepers play, keep away. But, you know, I know Evan Newton didn't win midseason goalkeeper MVP, but what a story he has been after the start he and his team had, and being booed by the home crowd, which is just a first. Great work here, and that play on, says the referee. As Liam Rose taken out by Abu. On the other side, that's off the crossbar again. Adeniran. Second time tonight for him. Great counterattack by San Antonio. Another quality chance, but put off the crossbar. That's lifted across. Flag stays down. Rolled up and in for the goal. Too much pressure. Patino. There to congratulate Justin Dillon.
San Antonio did not go away. They had their chance saved by the crossbar, but they kept on it. And I'm going to guess Locomotive is asking for a offsides, but you can't stop. You got to play till that whistle, regardless.
It's lifted across. That's what they wanted the offside on. But Patino gives San Antonio their extra important lead as he rolls it between the wickets. And Evan Newton immediately on assistant referee Jennifer Garner on that far side.
And that's where we really need to see the on the touch, where was the attacking player and the last defender on the service.
Well,
we kind of can see, but I'd like to.
Right, you want it to be definitive.
I want that.
Fifth goal of the season for Santiago Patino. The Colombiano played with Orlando City SC, wide open, well behind the defensive line, nobody in black to mark him, and he could pick his spot. Picked it nicely.
Oh, yes.
And in the 47th minute, San Antonio has its all-important first goal. Locomotive with a challenge. Nick Hines wants a call that he will get as he's taken down by Manley.
And this is where, Coach Hutch talks about the guys he has and their character. This is where they need to not get down, continue to attack. It's the start of the second half. There is a lot of time on this in this match.
Way out by the touchline for Dylan Maris. In swinger. It's lifted out. Aaron Gomez looked like he almost had a piece. Patino able to keep it moving out for San Antonio FC. Hines on the back, Calvillo. Again, Maris. Nice cut in. Skins his way through the contact. Well, this is interesting because he didn't allow the play to play on, our referee. And it seemed like Dylan Maris had kept the ball. Ricardo Fierro electing to blow the whistle.
He did, but do you see how many white shirts were defending on that play? He had at least 3 on him, and there was a lot of help. So they are, like we said, they're committed to being organized and trying to stay in front of the ball.
Calvillo on the restart. John Hutchinson irate, talking things over with the fourth official. And he has been issued a warning. So a little talking to between Patino and Matt Boehner. And here is Calvillo. In swinging ball. Lifted out of trouble by Tainter. Rose will keep it moving. Bodies flying everywhere. Maris, Rose. Slid into touch by Justin Dillon.
Boehner has one of the longer throws on the team, so that's...
Right up on the touch line, goes for placement. It's deflected by San Antonio, and Cristiano Francois unable to bring it down. There's Lucho with a touch, trying to get around. San Antonio will roll it out of trouble. San Antonio on the break. A dinner in again. Has to sidestep Fox, but right into Yuma. I think they work on that in practice. Out to Francois, the right side. That'll be a foul whistled on San Antonio. Set back down to Rachel Phillips, who had, she had the fly-on-the-wall view of all of that happening downstairs. Rachel?
Yeah, certainly a lot happening down here. John Hutchinson still going off, absolutely fuming after that goal was called a goal. He's saying they were at least 5 meters offside in regards to that goal. While the Locomotive were trying to attack, he was still just talking to that fourth official, trying to reason with them, but no go there. Locos now in the tough task of trying to get back on track and get a goal to at least draw things up and then hopefully go ahead.
Maloney. Yuma, as usual, right place, right time. Francois will earn the throw. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club's on the road or at home, nearly every second of the championship is on ESPN Plus, home to USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Wonderful tool to help kind of familiarize yourself with Locomotive's upcoming opponents. I know you were able to take a look at San Antonio FC through that app. You see Alan Marcina, Canadian in his second stint in the Alamo City. That pass does not go where San Antonio wanted it to. There's Calvillo. Lucho with a touch. Can't quite get it to bounce where he wants it to. Got to see a great takeaway though by Calvillo. Locomotive with numbers. Maris trying to sidestep. Maris will have a go. Tipped away by far. That's a shot on target though.
Absolutely.
Dylan Maris earns a corner.
Then that was some fresh. Look at the way he keeps his balance and control of the ball under all that pressure. I mean, that is a difficult thing to do, but he does it match after match. And then to put a strike like that on goal, I like that selfishness that he took the responsibility and took a strike like that.
Maris will deliver the corner here. On the bounce. Oh, that did not miss by much, and it was deflected on its way over. Liam Rose. Another corner kick coming.
San Antonio gets to it first, but Liam Rose, that's a great strike, and San Antonio heads it out just to keep us off the board.
Garcia's fist pump. That'll be knocked over again. Corner kick the other way. Garcia at the near post. His fist pump has got 8 notch all up in his grill.
The Locomotive has got to keep the pressure on.
Well, a number of set pieces, but again, as you pointed out earlier, San Antonio, bunch of players over 6 feet. El Paso has to place that properly. Fox is in the box. Let's see. Eric Calvillo. Outswinger to the far post and over. San Antonio with a throw in coming. So your old bugaboo.
I know.
Shots on target. Locomotive, that one from Maris was the first of the night. And Locomotive followed that up in a corner with a second, so they have 2. Trying to make it work, but how important is that as Maloney does a great job beating Francois, but his passes, service in is not good.
Yeah, they tried to put...
Oh, Francois. Well, that was a nice thought. He couldn't run it down.
Yeah.
A wider surface, he might have had that.
Or a little slower pitch.
Right.
Yeah, shots on target. I mean, if taking chances and not getting them on frame, there is no chance they're going to go in. None. There's no chance of it going in. There's no chance of a deflection. There's no chance of a save. None. I mean, so, you know, you see, for these great shots that look great, but they are really not that much of a quality. There has to be a focus. I mean, every once in a while you're going to be off target, but they have to improve the percentage. It has to be if you want to be able to win games.
Aaron Gomez keeps that errant pass from Lucho in play. Maris, though, trying to work it with Hines. And Maris not happy. Throw in for San Antonio. Locomotive trying to get some traction. Trailing by a goal. High bounce, Calvillo. Lucho into space for Francois. Francois, the cross. Knotted in! Wide! Marison, it's offside anyway. Flag is up. No. My apologies. That's goal kick.
And I think Lucho is asking for some kind of foul, I'm guessing.
Well, it'll be interesting in the replay.
That's
Francois and Maris. You just talked about it. The shots have to be on frame as Lucho and Garcia with a collision.
And I think all the attention might have been on, once the ball went past Lucho, the attention was on Marison, and he's got to execute. I mean, he had that opportunity. That is execution. He can do that. I know he can do that, and I'm sure he would want that chance back.
Well, certainly a player known for his feet more than his head. But, I mean, it was wide open. He was free.
He's capable in that position, that spot. He can do that.
Here's Lucho, nice turn. And absolutely leveled by Garcia. That's going to be a foul. Quick restart here. Hines. Aron. Calls for a handball. Aron and Manley. Good step by Manley. Equally good on the other side to take it away from Justin Dillon. And here's Lucho. Bounces kindly for Abu, who's off to the races. It's actually Gomez who's taken down, and a foul whistled on Calvillo.
I think Lucho feels like he has a shadow right now. He's getting a little bit fired up, but I think that's a good thing. If he keeps his cool, but gets a little more fire lit under him, that's when.
So the Cheetah, his race is run here in the 60th minute. Emma Sonupe to replace him. Cristiano Francois, the Haitian international, giving way to the former Tottenham man, the youth academy for Tottenham Hotspur. Replacing speed with speed is John Hutchinson. San Antonio about to make a substitution as well. Ignacio Bailoni about ready to come into the match. Set down to Rachel Phillips, and there is a difference. I mean, with Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, Locomotive had their way. That is not the case tonight, Rachel Phillips.
No, certainly not. I mean, we are seeing more opportunities created this week, though, from the Locomotives than what we saw last week. Last week, 0 shots on target. Tonight, we saw that one from Dylan Meredith come just a few minutes ago. That's the big focus that's been from the Locomotive this week, is to try and get those shots on target to be able to convert and score some goals. Hutch was really disappointed that they really just didn't create any opportunities last week. It was a big focus during the week, and we're finally starting to see that here in the second half. But to get the win here tonight, there's certainly going to need to be a lot more shots on target.
Good work by Liam Rose with his first run out tonight. Replaced in the lineup by Ander. I would say that the Australian had a pretty solid evening in that defensive midfielder role.
He definitely did. Had that nice strike too. Would have been nice to get on the board.
PC also out of the match. The Brazilian. What Yuma is to El Paso, PC is largely to San Antonio. Kind of that touchstone, that guy who drives the engine. That's a long restart, headed in wide. Just where they wanted it.
And Locomotive has got to sort that out. I mean, they cannot have that is, yeah, there's a guy kind of near him, but that's not really contesting that ball.
That was Bailone's first touch. The big Argentine, 6'3", native of Rosario, Argentina. Ignacio Bailone checking into the game. So Patiño's goal in the 47th, the difference so far, Locomotive. Trying to counteract that, it's Maris. Maloney. Solid defense applied by the man from Penn State, former Columbus Crew. Lewisburg, PA. That's play on. Aaron Gomez taken down. San Antonio content to keep things out of the mixer as much as they can. Boehner. Good touch by Lucho, not able to settle to Sanupe. Back to Maloney. Bailone. Rolled it easily off to the left-hand side. Bailone trying for the return service. Newton has that. Justin Dillon, a little off target.
And San Antonio's been making it tough for Locomotive because when they get that ball, they are pushing the pace onto the attack. And getting Locomotive just kind of having to try and catch up and not be as organized and not have all our men back, you know what I mean? So they are pushing it and trying to disrupt things like that. And Locomotive, we've had our chances as well on attack when we have been able to push the attack. That's when we've had these more run of play and more chances this last bit of period of time.
Here's Nick Hines.
No.
Aron called for a push.
Another Gomez, huh?
Gomez on Gomez. And it will be Abu on the restart. Abu being urged to play the ball. Native of Ghana. Former DC United player. It's a good touch by Bailone, but Yuma makes sure there was no square charge. And Bailone comes out a little the worse for wear for that. Lucho trying to keep it in play, not able to. But you can tell, yeah, they know that Lucho's the man. And he has at least 2 white shirts everywhere he goes. San Antonio with a throw in here, and their white jerseys trimmed in teal and orange, a very, as I remember it, kind of 80s San Antonio Spurs look. 80s, 90s. Back when they played at the Alamo Dome. Of course, San Antonio FC owned by the Spurs. Wonderful, taking the place of the NASL Scorpions, which built Toyota Field. They're in San Antonio. Trying to continue their best season in franchise history. That'll be a foul on El Paso. Ademiran. You want to talk about somebody in Samuel Adeniran who's had his opportunities tonight. 2 off the crossbar. Abu here on the restart. Harmlessly out for a goal kick. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC channel 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk. That includes USL All Access Tuesday nights at 5 Mountain, plus live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. San Antonio players down behind the play. Southwest University player profile. Lucho is the man for Locomotive FC, returning to the lineup after his suspension. It's been touch and go for Lucho, just trying to get in the lineup consistently. He is definitely due for a goal, but still leads the team with 7 this season.
7 goals, 4 assists, I know. And then having already played for San Antonio in 2020, I think Rachel might have some more information on him for us.
Rachel?
Heidi, when we look at Lucho, he is the leading goal scorer this season, but he's only scored twice in the past 10 games. We'll be looking to find the back of the net here tonight and help the Locos even things up. But when we talk about Lucho, it's hard not to recognize the fact that there's a big chance he wouldn't be here with the El Paso Locomotive if it weren't for San Antonio's head coach, because Alan Marcina actually signed him with San Antonio back in 2020 after he had a year off in 2019 after he injured his hip when he was playing for Chicago. Marcina didn't know exactly what he was going to get with Lucho, whether he'd even really be able to get back into the game, but he did that and more. He played in 16 games and actually scored 8 times in those games. Lucho, though, incredibly grateful that Marcina gave him a shot, and so should Locomotive fans, because if it weren't for Marcina, who knows if Lucho Solignac would be here with the Locomotive.
Well, Ignacio Bailone's night is already done. So Bailone off with injury. They will bring on a substitute right now. And coming onto the pitch will be Nicky Hernandez, former man from FC Dallas. On loan from FC Dallas of Major League Soccer, has also played with North Texas SC. And it'll come far with Aron Gomez in hot pursuit. Got to say one thing I think San Antonio FC has done exceedingly well tonight is get Lucho and Aron Gomez as few touches as they possibly can. That'll be a foul. Matt Boehner drawing the contact is Adeniran frustrated. It's been a frustrating evening for Sammy Adeniran. But Locomotive's 2 forwards have barely seen the ball this evening.
Yeah, they haven't really found a rhythm, you know. There just has, like, especially between them. Usually there's kind of a little bit of a, you know, a give and take, little rhythm between the two of them, a nice dynamic. And then usually sometimes even, you know, Maris will come up, and then we've seen Calvillo, and they just haven't really found that combination, like especially centrally amongst them, where then they can feed the wings. We found other ways to get forward, but if you can get your forwards involved, I mean, that's their primary role.
Here's Sinupe among his first touches of the night. Great work. Sinupe runs into trouble. Abul backs him out. I will say Sinupe on Tainter, a couple of earlier touches, as well as that is going to be a foul on the edge of the area. Lucho taken down by Garcia, who has been his shadow all evening tonight. Finally whistled for the foul.
And that ball in by Fox, that created that play. I mean, also Ander got the ball over to Foxy. You know, they got it, kept it over here, possessed it, got it out of trouble, and then, but he saw that, said, let me get that ball into my striker. Look where he's at. I want my striker to get a ball in that position every single time. Try to create something.
Well, Garcia clearly playing the man, not the ball, and earns the foul. So a very dangerous free kick here. Eric Calvillo, we've seen his free kick addicts outside of the area. Dylan Maris another.
And I have, you know, Jordan Farr trying to organize his wall, right?
Indeed. And it's another one in tight to the 18-yard box. But it firmly looks like Eric Calvillo will be the one to take this free kick. And why not? The man who scored the stoppage time tying goal versus Atlanta United on the road on a muggy night in Georgia. Andrew Fox back there as well. Might there be a surprise?
They got a man down the ground.
Maloney apparently had a little shove for Yuma, who now needs to tie his shoes. Maloney's the man behind the wall laying down. I guess Yuma was a little too close for his comfort. Fox with a run over. Calvillo missed it. Not by much, but it's over the bar. El Salvador national teamer. He got the dip, he had the angle, just wasn't able to steer it under the bar.
No,
the dip
and
wasn't all
Farr
the way
knew
there.
where he was trying to hit it. That's the other thing. It's like sometimes you overthink it. Just get it, strike it. Farr knew exactly, thought he knew exactly where it was going, and he was right. So even if it...
Well, I'm not sure Farr would have gotten to the ball.
I don't know if he would
but
have.
He might have. Nonetheless, I mean, he guessed correctly. And that one will dribble out over Hines. Out of play. Eric Calvillo with 5 goals, kind of climbing up the scoring charts, and he's very quietly become an offensive force for this Locomotive team. Last couple of matches, he's had to play a little more defensive role, but San Antonio scoots down along the byline, an easy pickup for Evan Newton. Calvillo has been great for this Locomotive squad.
He came back from international duty with, like, you know, a fire lit under him to become more involved in the attack, and it's been, you know, amazing to have him contribute for Locomotive.
That is going to result in a yellow card. Mucho taken down roughly by Abul. It's been a tough night for the Argentine. He has been physically marked all evening long. But San Antonio FC knows what's coming if they let him loose. So we'll do the restart here. Lucho takes his spot at the edge of the area. Mohamed Abul whistled for the yellow card, whistled for the foul, and receives the yellow card in the 74th minute. On the restart, Maris, edge of the box. Fox gets a nod to it, thinking he got a deflection. He did not. But Eric Calvillo has been a force for Locomotive FC, and Rachel Phillips has more on the El Salvador International. Rachel?
Yeah, Duke, since returning from international duties with El Salvador, Calvillo scored 4 goals in 4 games. And if I was a betting woman prior to that goal he just tried to get, I actually probably would have put money on him getting that goal because of the way he's been playing since he came back from international duties. And a big reason you're seeing this change in form from Eric Calvillo is partly because of his mindset change, but also because he's been working one-on-one with Marina Shahavskoy, who is the assistant coach for the El Paso Locomotive and video analysis. The two have been working one-on-one for the last couple of months now. It started just before he went away to international duties, and then they have continued it since he's been back. And both of them credit that sitting down together and being able to watch what Eric is doing, where he's going wrong, where he's going right, how they can fix things up and get him scoring more. And clearly you're seeing that pay off and show out here. And hopefully we might even get to see a goal from Eric Calvillo here tonight as well.
Aaron Gomez. Ander. Maris has been chased all night. Nice sidestep, but well seen by San Antonio FC. Good work by Jordy Delem, who's checked in. Defensively, he took the place of PC, defensive midfield. There you see Eric Calvillo.
And Maris really does need, like, when he gets in that, especially when he's in that part of the field, he hasn't drawn that pressure in the attacking third in that midfield part. When he draws all that pressure, there has to be another Locomotive player that comes into the midfield area that supports him and helps him to give him that that outlet, or maybe even a give and go. But he's there, he's so well marked there, and he can only keep the ball for so long.
Well, Dylan Maris, Emma Sanupe wanted that ball played forward and in front of him. It goes in behind for a San Antonio throw.
Sanupe, he wants to use his speed. That's why.
Sure. Here's Hines. Hines. Nice drive. In for the touch. Aron trying to turn. Well met by Garcia. Mucho. Good cross to open space. Maris has it skip away, but he'll head to the byline. Some fancy footwork by the man from Zionsville. Maris will earn the corner. Maloney with him step for step. Here is Dylan Maris. Locomotive looking for an offensive answer. Yuma with a header, and that's skied up and over. Yuma took some abuse there. Maybe a little head-to-head contact with Gomez. And there will be a stoppage as Gomez will be tended to once again. Jesse Lawrence being called out onto the pitch for head contact. Gives us an opportunity to talk about your old league, the W League, Heidi Mocha.
So the first ever USL W League champion will be crowned this Saturday in front of a sold-out crowd. It's Minnesota Aurora FC will host South Georgia Tormenta FC for the trophy. For more information on how to watch, go to uslwleague.com.
Wonderful to see as the USL at just about every level below First Division continues to fill a need, and they're going to have the Super League coming up for women's soccer. But the W League has been a wonderful kind of League Two for college girls looking to get some experience and get out there in a semi-professional environment. Wonderful to fill that role. As Ricardo Zacarias will take the place of Eric Calvillo.
It's hard to replicate match play, so if there's a league that's going to offer that for the women, then that's what you're looking to do in your summers if you can,
How long did you play in the W League?
Gosh.
In that iteration of the W League?
Yeah, I'd have to go back, and I was on so many different teams for several summers, I think probably maybe 5, 7, I don't know, something like that. A
5,
lot.
7, 8, 6, throw a dart.
Well, Austin, Boston, Jackson,
Boston. Mercy.
Kansas City.
You like the lyrics to Route 66. Here's Farr being urged to start. Plays it back up and in. The 47th minute goal by Santiago Patiño. The difference so far tonight. San Antonio trying to keep those doors locked and earn their 10th clean sheet as a team. Locomotive with 10 plus stoppage time to try and change the narrative. Locomotive, if they want to retain Copa Tejas, play on, says the referee here, has to have the full 3 points. San Antonio, if there's a draw, cannot clinch Copa Tejas, but Locomotive will be eliminated. San Antonio, though, in prime position to take a trophy here in El Paso, Texas. Locomotive needing to find some answers. Ricardo Zacarias into the match. And a caution's going to be issued to Gomez for a little extracurricular on Calvillo, or pardon me, Zacarias in the 81st. Apparently it wasn't for the physical stuff, it was for his mouth. Yellow carded for taunting. It will be eventually a throw-in for San Antonio. Sanupe a little disappointed the call didn't go his way. From the assistant referee, Mitchell Tainter, they're in as well. But one of your keys to the match coming in, Heidi, was playing from the wings. And that really, other than maybe a bit in the first half where Cristiano Francois served in some good balls, has not happened for Locomotive FC tonight.
Right. I mean, San Antonio has done a good job of not allowing us to be able to do that, especially here in that second half. And that's where the Locomotive has to come up with another way to get that done, to switch the fields quicker, push the play a little bit quicker. But San Antonio, give them credit for how they have stayed organized and really had their game plan work against us.
Maloney keeps on running. He's facing another wing in Sinupe, but he's been one of those great engines. That's going to be a foul whistled on Gomez. And it looks like it's going to be a caution here. Jordan Farr is all over Aaron Gomez. The yellow card is out for Locomotive's all-time leading goal scorer in the 83rd minute, as he takes down Mitch Tainter. Mitch Tainter up for league MVP, at least in the midseason awards, and he has had himself a year, including scoring 4 goals. But he's been the anchor for that San Antonio back line, as he is tended to by his teammates for now. With more on that stalwart back line in San Antonio defense, let's head down to Rachel Phillips. How good are these guys, Rachel?
Well, Duke, we knew it was going to be a tough one coming in here tonight for the El Paso Locomotive to find the back of the net. That's because San Antonio right now lead the league in least goals conceded with just 14 goals. In fact, in their past 5 games, they've allowed just 2 goals and 8 shots on target with 3 shutouts. The Locomotive having at least 1 shot on target tonight, but not able to find the back of the net. Time is winding down right now for the Locomotive, and right now they need someone to step up. They have just brought on Ricardo Zacharias just a couple of minutes ago to try and find that game changer, and there are a few other guys warming up right now as well that we could see come onto the pitch in a couple of minutes.
Who will John Hutchinson go to? Slide by Boehner. Roll it into touch. A 47th minute goal. A little contentious from Santiago Pinedo. Or Patiño, I should say. His 5th of the season, though. That is the difference. With 6 and 5 plus stoppage time to go. And I think we're going to have a little bit of stoppage time right now. Hines looking for help. Gomez bounces it off of Hines. It'll be Hines called for a foul. Locomotive trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink versus San Antonio, but SAFC not about to let them. Here's Farr on the restart. Too far over the head of Justin Dillon. Quick restart here from Evan Newton. Out to Boehner. Time of the essence for Locomotive FC, but a turnover. Adeniran helping things, but not able to keep it. Here's Maris Sinupe. Pings across. Well done by Gomez to clear it out, but it's straight to Hines. Hines service in. Aaron Gomez bouncing. Maris taken down. A pile of bodies. Farr is there. And Fabian Garcia is pumped up. Dylan Maris thought there might have been some extra.
That service by Sinupe was gorgeous.
Emma Sinupe with a beautiful cross. As we take a look at this one again. This is on the rebound. Hines, Maris.
And that's where Maris is saying, hey, he's on the ground playing the ball, right?
Right.
That.
Interesting. Roll into space.
Not necessarily saying, you know, hey, but you're not technically supposed to be able to play the ball on the ground, but there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Play on, says the referee, as Abu taken down by Yuma. San Antonio wanted the foul. Nice lead to Maris. Here's Hines. Gomez puts it in touch. And a substitution for El Paso. Onto the pitch to replace Aaron Gomez. For the first time in front of the home crowd is Edison Ascona. Did get into the game on the road last week in Oakland. With the young man on loan from Inter Miami FC coming on here in the 88th minute. Might he have a little spark? Locomotive has been able to ramp things up a little bit. But San Antonio's done an excellent job of clearing away the pressure and very content
to absorb it.
To absorb it.
Try to.
Exactly.
I mean, Locomotive has shown that they are recognizing that, you know, the clock is getting closer to the end, and whatever stoppage time there's going to be, that there is, they have to play with the sense of urgency. They have to go out there and score, but they don't want to, you know, toss out the kitchen sink at the same time, but they need to get on the board if they want to pull out a point.
It's going to be a caution issued to Ascona, who has been on for less than a minute. As he takes out Nicky Hernandez. Happened right in front of the referee, but
yeah, I know Locomotive does lead in yellow cards, but I think that I'm not sure if it's been quite evenly doled out as they should have been earned this match.
Hines, that's going to be a foul whistled on San Antonio as Hines is taken out by a very frustrated Sami Adeniran. Adeniran is again put it off the crossbar twice tonight.
And like San Antonio seems that they've been, I don't know, I guess wily at drawing pressure that turns into fouls.
Here's Gomez. Comes to Yuma, chested down for Newton.
And in the same time, defending, they're also not conceding.
We're in the 90th minute, Calvillo. Sanupe. Maloney's done an outstanding job on that wing all night for San Antonio.
Yeah, he's been one of those players that you might not notice, but he has put pressure on the ball and kept that ball like controlled when one of the Locomotive opponents when the Locomotive players had the ball.
Ascona draws the double team. Throw in for Locomotive. Quickly taken by Lucho to Hines now. Hines swept off. Will go behind for a corner kick. Abu. Great last-ditch defending. But we are into stoppage time. A minimum of 5 minutes. You saw that one coming. So, Locomotive pulling out all the stops is Maris. In-swinger. Lifted out. And a touch for Locomotive. Sanupe will leave off for Boehner. The long throw specialist. Man from Ohio. Lofted nicely in, Yuma. Probably not the man you want to be receiving into that. Boehner, nice cross just over the head of Fox. Lucho. Back it comes to have a go, Ascona. It's actually Maris. But it is 4 minutes away. San Antonio wants to have a trophy ceremony here in El Paso, Texas. Things are liable to get a little loco, if you'll pardon the pun, Rachel Phillips.
Yeah, that's certainly right, Duke. This is desperation at its finest for both teams right now. As you mentioned, the Copateas Cup on the line, but more than that, for the El Paso Locomotive, they're looking to make sure they don't have back-to-back losses for the first time since early April. They're trying to stop that. They also don't want to lose their 8-game unbeaten streak right here at home. Less than 5 minutes now in this match, and the Locomotive trying to even things up here and get a draw.
Yuma off target with that, comes straight to Abu. Out along the left wing, Justin Dillon. Hasn't had to do a lot tonight for San Antonio. Will draw the throw and certainly does what you're taught to do. Just go to the corner and let somebody make a play. Nicky Hernandez will take his time. Back to the corner. And earns a corner kick. The seconds dribbling away for Locomotive FC. As Hernandez will leave off for Abu. The Ghanaian will play the corner short. Locomotive will get the deflection out, but here's Maloney. It'll be a throw in for San Antonio. Maris trying to pressure Abu.
Maris is looking for some of the ticky-tack contacts to be called, but he handles it so well that he kind of has a disadvantage because they do not call that against him, where other players, they can't handle the kind of pressure with the ball at their feet like he can, and so, you know, he doesn't get the calls. Yeah, he gets penalized for being really good at it. When they should have a little bit quicker whistle, in my opinion, against him a lot, you know, and protect him a little bit more.
Andrew Fox, the Englishman, missing on that pass up the pitch. Passing has not been as solid for Locomotive tonight as it has been before. 94th minute. It'll be a boot taken down by Maris. Another free kick coming. And San Antonio, based on a 47th minute goal by Santiago Patiño, now seconds away perhaps from lifting Copa Tejas here in El Paso, Texas. Tainter. Here's Hines. Pressure's on. That is a foul committed by Hernandez. It'll result in a free kick, or did it just go out? No, it just went out.
I think he called the foul.
He did call the foul, okay.
It was kind of similar to earlier when he allowed it just go to be a corner, but he could have. I thought he could have called a similar thing earlier, but because it went out for the corner, he allowed it to be.
Seconds left. Dylan Maris, do or die for Locomotive.
We have seen heroics like this before here.
We have. Evan Newton is in the box. Everybody up for Locomotive FC. Could this be the last action? Maris in, headed out by Garcia. Trying to bring it down, Ascona. Taken away. Rolled into touch, and that's the end of the match. Gomez lifts it out, and that is your final action. And so for the first time in 9 matches, Locomotive FC suffers defeat. John Hutchinson certainly won't like the result or the way it came about, but all credit is due to San Antonio FC. That is now 7 straight unbeaten and a 5-game win streak that is their best of the season so far.
You know,
San Antonio deservedly on top of the USL.
Right, absolutely. Now, but I got to give it to Locomotive. I mean, for as prolific as San Antonio has been, for a goal that, you know, we know that was some of us were questioning, was it offsides or not? I mean, that's the deciding goal, you know. So they came out and matched up as best as they could, and still, you know, had a chance. If Maris's ball had been in the back of the net, I mean, it's 1-1, and if that doesn't happen, it's a whole different ball game. So Locomotive still needs to keep their head up, even though they lost this match.
It is San Antonio FC 1, Locomotive 0. Back with the post game. Stick around. More to come after this. Welcome back to downtown El Paso, Texas. Your score at the end of a tough one for Locomotive FC is El Paso 0, San Antonio FC 1. As Locomotive FC suffers defeat for the first time in 9 matches at home, I should point that out. Let's head down to Rachel Phillips with our Estrella of the match.
Locos fans, I am joined by your Estrella of the match, the guy between the posts, the saver on our hands right here, Evan Newton. Evan, obviously not the game, not the outcome we wanted here tonight. That final goal that happened, 47th minute, for yourself, what did you see on that? Because I was right next to John Hutchinson. He was calling it 5 meters offside. What did you see on that?
Yeah, you know, we'll have to watch it again. It felt like it was offsides and not a good goal for me to let in, but it is what it is, and we keep going. We boys battle hard tonight, so we just keep going.
Certainly was a big battle from the Locomotive here tonight. That's actually, last week we saw 4 goals get let in. Tonight, just the 1. So a big improvement in that area. We saw Yuma back in the back line. How much of a difference did he make to the communication out there for you guys?
Yeah, no, Yuma's a fantastic player. You know, last week just unlucky. You know, a lot of things went wrong. We didn't have our best half, and Oakland played really well the first half. So it's just one of those days. Tonight, been unfortunate, and look, we just keep going. We've been resilient all year. It's been a lot of adversity that we've had to face, and we just keep going, and we'll be fine. Don't worry.
I'm not worried at all. I trust in you guys a lot. We saw 4 saves tonight from yourself. That takes you back up to the league leader in saves in the league. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I'd rather not be the lead leaguer in saves. I'd rather, you know, be winning more, but it is what it is. I'm just trying to do my job. Unfortunately, we let one in tonight, and we got to go back and look at it and keep getting better.
Well, a chance for another clean sheet and a win again next week when you're back at home taking on the top of the league in the East in Louisville City. I'm sure the fans will be packed into the stands for that one against the top team in the Eastern League. But for now, Evan, you are our Estrella of the match. Let's give you your Estrella of the match trophy as well as your shirt. You know the deal by now. This is the second time we've done this. And then, of course, the last thing we're going to give you is this soccer ball here. You get to sign your name on it, and then you can kick it or pass it up into the crowd. I'm sure there is plenty of people in the crowd here tonight that want to get this ball from tonight's Estrella of the match, Evan Newton. Evan, congratulations on a great game.
Into the crowd, thank you very much. Rachel Phillips, Evan Newton, who did a fine job tonight, but again, 5 shots on target for San Antonio as we take a look at our save of the match. Evan Newton, your GECU save of the game. It's actually saves, but once again, Evan Newton, what a rebound from the start of the season to now, Heidi.
Yeah, I mean, Evan Newton tonight, I mean, he read the game fantastically. His ability to stop the shots and also not allow the ball on deflections when a lot of keepers can't control the ball like that. So I mean, he was just to keep San Antonio with only 1 goal, and we kind of all are questioning, was that offsides or not? I mean, he is definitely the man of the match for a reason. We wish he had 1 more save though.
Indeed. Your physical play of the game. Welcome back, big number 24, team captain Yuma. And he was pumped after this one. Great deflection here as PC tries for the first time. And the 2 talismans of their respective teams, Yuma outdoing PC there. Another great 90 minutes from El Paso's team captain. Moving into the next match, brought to you by Brian Bird's home selling team. Yes, indeed, the top of the East coming to town, Louisville City FC in El Paso. Next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. That is going to be a spectacular West versus East matchup as Locomotive continues its string against the very top teams in the USL Championship, Heidi.
Yeah, and if you want to be the best, then you have to beat the best. So looking at the schedule, Locomotive will have played host to the top 3 teams in the league in consecutive home matches. Big win against Colorado Springs, tonight against San Antonio, and then this Louisville City FC matchup next week. So Louisville, season after season, always in the mix for the championship. So they're coming off a 0-0 draw at home during the week against Phoenix, but but they'll be rested when they come down to El Paso. So looking forward to next Saturday.
7:30 p.m. Get your tickets now. EPLocomotivefC.com. Well, it just remains for us to thank all of the fine folks who helped us out tonight. Our producer, Juan Gutierrez, our director, Cesar Ruiz. For Rachel Phillips, for Heidi Mocha, I am Duke Keith. Copa Tejas moves to the Alamo City. Your final score tonight, Locomotive FC 0, San Antonio FC 1. For all of us here in El Paso, so long, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.